This is a quote by Aristotle that as we graduate a week from today, we have a choice to truly live our own lives by its words. No matter what you do or where you go, how you perceive your life and what you do with it, each decision is ultimately up to you. This is This I Believe speech by Tony Hawk, and it's about having passion about what you do. Do What You Love by Tony Hawk. I believe that people should take pride in what they do, even if it is scorned by or misunderstood by the public at large. I have been a professional skateboarder for 24 years. For much of that time, the activity that paid my rent and gave my greatest joy was tagged with many labels, most of which were ugly. It was a kid's fad, a waste of time, a dangerous pursuit, a crime. When I was about 17, 3 years after I turned pro, my high school careers teacher scolded me in front of the entire class about jumping ahead in my workbook. He told me that I would never make it in the workplace if I didn't follow directions explicitly. He said I'd never make it as a living skateboarder, so it seemed to him that my future was bleak. Even during those dark years, I never stopped riding my skateboard and never stopped progressing as a skater. There have been many, many times when I've been frustrated because I can't land a maneuver. I've come to realize that the only way to master something is to keep at it. I've come to realize that despite bloody knees, despite the twisted ankles, despite the mocking crowds, skateboarding has gained mainstream recognition in recent years, but it still has negative stereotypes. The pro skaters I know are responsible members of society. Many of them are fathers, homeowners, world travelers, and successful entrepreneurs. Their hairdos and tattoos are simply a part of their culture, even when they raise their eyebrows during PTA meetings. So here I am, 38 years old, a husband and a father of 3, with a lengthy list of responsibilities and obligations. And although I have many job titles, CEO, executive producer, senior consultant, foundation chairman, bad actor, the one I am most proud of is professional skateboarder. It's the one I write on surveys and custom forms, even though I often end up in a secondary security checkpoint. Okay, and the second story that I have is This I Believe speech by Qingdao from China. And it's about how sometimes you're not always gonna have the happy things to hold on to, but you still have your memories. They're not always gonna be present every day, but you have your memories to look back to. The happiness of memories. The past should be left alone because it no longer exists. Yet it is good that I still have my memories. Things I want to engrave or the things I want to forget will leave traces in my mind. Sometimes recollection is a joy. Memory is like putting together the puzzles of previous experiences. I believe memory is the core of the soul. Like the bulb in a light, without the light cannot shine. Thank God that my dear grandmother had a great impact on me, even though she is gone, and perhaps without the impression of her grandchild before she went to heaven. She was just an average woman, but a little bit inquisitive. She would easily trust people's advice and sympathize with someone's bad life. I lived with my grandmother until I was 10. More than 3,000 days company left me with many delightful memories of her. She was the closest person to me besides my parents. I believe memories are worth being recalled. I remember those mornings in my childhood in which I practiced gong with my grandma and a couple of old people. I imitated her movement left, right, up, and down. It was really fun. She was so amused at my antics. I believe memories are warm. My grandma sat on my bed and was knitting a sweater for me. I believe memories are a prize. I remember times that I was pulling her arms, asking her for help to wear my hair in a braid. I believe memories are vivid. I can still see the picture of her bringing back Chinese sweet potatoes for me from the market, and I saw that it was still hot and looks tasty. I believe memories are rainbows, always showing up after tears. When my grandmother got old, it seemed as if an eraser existed in her mind, gradually sweeping away her memories. She did not remember my grandfather, her friends, her children, and her granddaughter. It is a grief that she did not remember me. When I saw her, all I could do was to remind her that I was her granddaughter, but she would forget it very quickly. Her smile was charming, like a 10-year-old child. She was always repeating my name and nodded when I told her. I cried a lot when she was gone. I knew that I could not ask her to stay forever, but she was already preserved in my memories. Can you imagine how gorgeous memories are? Nothing can touch the past except for memories. I believe memories are also painful. Nevertheless, they make us grow. I believe when memories are gone, we become a newborn baby. I believe memories bring us every expression that humans have. I believe I will be happy as long as I have my memories. And then the last one that I have is a poem about the steps to happiness that I found at coachinghappiness.com. And it goes like this. Okay, steps to happiness. Everybody knows you can't be all the things to all people. You can't do all things at once. You can't do all things well. You can't do all things better than everyone else. Your humanity is showing just like everyone else's. So you have to find out who you are and be that. You have to decide what comes first and do that. You have to discover your strengths and use them. You have to learn not to compete with others because no one else is in the contest of being you. Then you will have to learn to accept your own uniqueness. You will have to learn to set priorities and make decisions. You will have to learn to live with limitations. You will have to learn to give yourself the respect that is due, and you'll be a most vital memorial. Dare to believe that you are a wonderful, unique person, that you are a once-in-all history event, that it's more than a right, it's your duty to be who you are, that life is not a problem to solve, but a gift to cherish, and you will be able to stay one up on what used to get you down. And then the author was one up for that one. So when you graduate, and if you follow your passion, no matter what anyone says, and you keep your greatest memories true to your heart, and even in times of sadness, and then you truly live life being exactly who you are, then you have lived the words of Aristotle that happiness depends